you may be kind of new to tarot readings and new to like spiritual ideas, spiritual practices. You may just find like the whole thing about the universe a bit corny, you know. But there may be something that happens that you're like, whoa, what some people are saying about this whole kind of field is so right. Hello and welcome to St. Rose of London. Thank you so much for joining me once again. We have our tarot tea. So I have cleansed the cards and I am ready to share messages with you. Now let's see, we want really nice clear messages for the collective today. What needs to be brought to the awareness? Nice clear messages for the collective today, please, Spirit. Messages for the collective. Wow. See, now you can see them fly, you see? Nice clear messages for the collective today. And we'll shuffle one more time. Nice clear messages for the collective today. Let's see what needs to be brought to the awareness now. So let's have a look at what messages we need to talk about today, okay? The first card that popped out, we have Nine of Swords. So we have this one. Okay, now anytime we're dealing with the swords, it's the air energy. So we have Aquarius, Gemini and Libra. So when we deal with the swords, it's about our communication, how we think, you know, our logic. It's about the words that people have said to us. Now for some of you, you may be thinking about someone who's had hurtful words against you. Some of you may really be feeling like your mind is clogged up, okay? And this is interrupting your sleep sometimes, you know, it's keeping you up at keeping you up awake. It's keeping you awake at night, okay? So this is someone who is going through a hard time, and I feel like to some degree, you know, everyone is having to deal with something at this time, okay? And it's an encouragement to say, you know, this person is dealing with it all alone, okay? And it's kind of like that isolated feel. But the cards are encouraging you to say that you are not alone, and there's always someone you can reach out to. Even if it's not your immediate friends, it could be, you know, an organization that, you know, a charity that helps with counseling, okay? So if you are feeling like this, if you're feeling like your mind is very dark, if you're struggling to let go of things that have hurt you, please reach out to those who can help. It could be family, friends, it could be a charity organization, but there is always someone that is there for you, okay? The universe will support you in whatever it is. And also, whenever I see this kind of image, you know, with the communication causing pain, if there is someone in your life who's communicating with you and is causing you this pain, it could be social media, it's just an encouragement to disconnect, yeah? Especially if it's, you know, electronics, just disconnect. Even if it's a few hours a day, like put your phone down, go outside, you know, put your phone down, meditate, do something that is gonna make you feel a bit more grounded again, yeah? And that will help you, you know, to sleep and so on. So next we have the Fool, yeah? Not literally someone being a fool, right? Or maybe. But it's about that first thing, taking a leap, yeah? having that, you know, when you're young and you have that naivety about you, like, oh, everything's gonna be fine, I'll just do this, and you're not really worried about what comes next, right? Sometimes it's not always a bad thing, you know. Sometimes we do need that, just let's go for it, you know, let's see where this ends up. But however you look at it, the Fool is always kind of a reminder to look where you're going. Yeah, look where you're going. Think about the next step. Before you do something, think about, okay, I'm happy to do this, I want to go for it, but do think about your next step, okay? Don't just blindly go into a situation, right? Because look, his dog is trying to warn him, saying, okay, I know you're happy and you're jolly, but there's a cliff there and you're going to come off the cliff, right? So it's about listening to the people around you who care for you, okay? You know, the dog is a man's best friend, so they say. Not for me, but so they say, right? So people who you know are good for you and loyal to you, and they may be just trying to tell you, okay, just think about your next step, yeah? Do listen to them. But also have a bit of that spirit, you know, because sometimes we do need to just take that leap, yeah? Now we have the Emperor. So the Emperor represents Aries. So there may be an Aries in your life who is kind of influencing you at the moment. So Aries is, you know, the first of the zodiac. Is about taking action. And isn't it funny that we have the taking action card next to the think about your next step card? Okay. So for someone out there, right, is thinking about taking action, the next step, okay? But we always need to remember, okay, let's think about the next step after that as well, because you don't want to have that impulsivity. It has to be an action you've actually thought about, yeah? Which is, you know, there's no harm in thinking, okay, if I do this, what happens next, you know? And we have, for some of you, I mean, I think these cards really represent how 2020 is going, you know? For some of us it's bliss, for some of us it's the opposite of bliss, right? But right now I'm talking to the people who are in bliss. Oh, we have the Four of Wands, yeah? So this always makes me so happy. So we have the Four of Wands, and it's about union, it's about celebration, it's about community and being and recognizing all the good things that you're doing, yeah? So it is just a card full of happiness. I always see, you know, the yellow cards are about happiness and sunshine, yeah? It's that carefree spirit. So the awareness today is that, you know, although there is so much sadness in the world, yeah, there are still things we can be happy and we can be grateful about. Okay, and even if you think there's nothing to be happy about right now, like there always is. Even if it takes you 10 minutes to come up with one thing, it's still one thing, okay? And then you always find, like, when you are being grateful, you find so much more things to be grateful about, yeah? And again, we have girl power right now. I'm sorry, we have girl power. We have the Three of Cups, okay? So there, oh, I found a little stand. We have Three of Cups, and it's about coming together again. It's about, you know, sisterly love. You may be someone who has a lot of sisters. So in here, I like to see them as sisters, but it could be friends as well. And it's just about, again, celebrating your successes with each other. And the thing about joy is it's contagious and it multiplies. So when you share your joy with your friends or your family, you're expanding on that joy, okay? You're bringing your joy further. And I think that's one of the things that are going to really help us in this time. It's about expanding joy and trying to raise the vibrations, because there is so many things right now that are bringing us down, you know? And I think if we can combat this with raising vibration, like I'm sending good vibration to you, okay? If we can try and combat this or try and reduce the amount of stress we have, that's always one way to go. Sharing your joy, sharing, you know, your, maybe it might even be wisdom, because we have the cups, which is water energy. So we know it's about, you know, intuition and feeling. So when you share your intuition with someone, you never know, what you say might really impact them, and it just might be the thing that they need to hear. So that's what we had for the cards that came out. Now, the cards, literally, I don't even know how many came out. It was about, let's have a look. Now this could be another set of people. These cards all came out like, it was like overload, right? So there may be some of you who are really thinking, you know, there's so much to think about right now, but it needs to get out, right? So for some of you, that's a message in itself. It's about releasing, okay? When we talk about releasing, we always think of like negative things, like you need to let it go, you need to release. But it could also just be a release of your creativity, a releasing of your voice, yeah? Just to create, express yourself, that's releasing, you know? And I guess there's some people who are naturally creators, there's some people who are natural artists, and you know, sometimes we may not be feeling in the right mindset to create, but you know, it's an energy within you. So once you start, you can't stop. So let's start on a happy note. We have 10 of Cups, okay? So for some of you, you know, again, happiness and bliss, you know, family, unity, you know, there's children in the picture as well, okay? So it could be your children, it could be children in your family, and it's just about really seeing the rainbow of life, you know? There's rain, there's clouds, you know, we have gloomy days, but after the rain, the sun shines and there's a rainbow. So it's seeing the rainbow of life. I love, you know what, I like that. Seeing the rainbow of life. So for some of you, you're in a good position, you're happy, you're feeling grounded, you're feeling loved and comforted. So share your joy, expand your happiness to others. Now we have the Three of, I was gonna say Three of Hearts. The Three of Swords, yeah? So, you know, Three of Hearts. Some of you may be in a situation where there's 3 hearts involved, okay? You know, it might be someone who's found themselves in a tricky love triangle, okay? And we have 3 of Hearts. So I would say that, and I don't want to say entanglement, okay? But I'm gonna say it. The 3 hearts that are entangled together, yeah, you are in this life and you have chosen this path. Now the thing is, you have to be very careful about what you're doing and what you're getting into, okay? Because we know that hearts can be very fragile sometimes, yeah? And when you have these sort of entanglements, there may be some words, there may be some actions, some communications that are going to cause real pain, yeah? So this, for you in the entanglements, in the love triangles, it's just saying to you, really think about what you're doing, because we have the air energy, we have swords, it's about communication and how we think. So we really need to think about what you're doing, okay, and thinking about the hearts involved, because every heart is precious, okay? Our heart space in the middle of our chakras, giving us balance, okay? And our hearts are important, they're precious, okay? And we don't intentionally want to hurt other people. Yeah, we want to protect the hearts that we love. So really think about the situation and try and get yourself out of this entanglement, okay? Once you're out, you can reflect and you can begin to heal and make peace. Simple as. I feel this is one solid message. I'm refreshed now. We have King of Swords. Okay, so we're talking about air energy again. You guys are very present, all right? So we have Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Now, the King of Swords, he's sometimes feared for his mouth. Okay, he's very strong in his words and he doesn't stutter, all right? And he said what he said. So he's surrounded by the air energy. He's able to quickly move, okay? He's able to see one perspective to the other, okay? He's not stagnant. And the King of Swords, we have him presenting himself very strongly, okay? He's sure about who he is and he's able to use his voice to voice his opinion, right? And we have another strong character. We have the Chariot, okay? So I always feel like the Chariot is about union, is about yin yang. As you can see, the kind of dualistic opposites. Yeah? So the Chariot, he's strong in his position as well. And he's kind of... So for this message, it's saying there may be someone who's very King of Swords energy, yeah? But what we need to do is move into a more integrated way of being, okay? Moving into yin yang. So you don't always have to have this hard persona, you know, like I'm the King of Swords and no one's better than me, like I'm straight up. What we want to do, you can have that same energy but be integrated as well. You see, we all have feminine and we this may be a young person. They may be starting university, right? They're moving into halls. So it's a message to say you can still, you know, project your masculinity, but it's saying that we all have both energies within us. So sometimes it is okay to embrace, you know, a feminine aspect. It is okay to be integrated, yeah? You don't have to have this show of masculinity all the time, yeah? So that's for someone. It's something that you learn as you grow, yeah? You learn that, you know what, I'm just gonna be myself. Like, I'm not gonna always try and big up and project an overly masculine aspect of myself because of others, because how I want others to see me. Just be you, and that's it. And for others, we have people who want to go. We have people who want to go in different directions, yeah? It may be someone who loves traveling. It may be someone who is kind of looking out and longing for something. And, you know, fire energy, what fires you up, yeah? Aries, Sag, Leo. We might be talking about these people. But it's about directing your energy, yeah? So we don't want to direct our energy into always feeling, you know, longing for something, feeling a lack of something, okay? Because you are fire energy, you are quick to initiate, yeah? So people always use candle magic, you know, because the fire energy is like, it's very quick. Other energies, like let's say earth is a bit more grounded, more slowly, you know. Fire, you can't control fire, right? So you have the fire energy in you. Redirect it into something positive, into something, you know, instead of feeling like a lack, say, you know what, I am directing my fire energy and I'm going to, you know, I want to say clean every day, but it sounds like so simple, but that's what came to mind. Something as small as that. I'm, you know, having my get-go energy and I'm going to clean every day. Simple, right? Instead of saying, you know, I have this build up, this fire energy, and to be honest, it's burning me because it's negative thoughts that I'm thinking. Is my energy is going to negativity. So let's reframe and let's put all that energy into something positive, like cleaning your room every day. So I think that was a lot of messages. So let's just have some other messages, some angel guidance for the collective today. There's so many things that are going on. Some people are extremely happy, some people are extremely sad, some people are just completely neutral, some people are not feeling anything at all. So let's have some collective messages for our viewers today. Thank you so much for being here as well. Like, share and subscribe so I can keep going for you. I can say I personally love tarot readings. Now, the cards don't want to jump for me. So they want to be hand chosen. Oops. They jumped. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an extra 2 for you guys. So I'll be picking the top 2 from here, top 2 from here, and let's go. We talk about the ones that jumped first. I don't know, I just feel happy. Okay, so for some of you, you are experiencing spiritual growth, okay? And I'm very pleased to hear it, okay? And that's so beautiful, honestly. And you know, spiritual growth is really feeling that expansiveness of your soul, right? And it's an amazing feeling. But also it's saying some of the negative things you may be feeling, it may be your spirit trying to tell you, you know, your soul trying to tell you, things are not right here. You know? Things are not right. Why do you feel sad today? Why do you feel low in energy today? You know? Why do you feel angry? I've just woken up. Right? So we have the idealistic view of spiritual growth, and it is, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, the epiphany moments, and there's so many, you know, good vibe feelings from it. But you know, there is times where you have to go and you have to do your shadow work, especially if you're just awakening. It can be quite scary as well, okay? So it's an encouragement to say it is all growth, right? We are spiritual beings, and part of our soul mission here is to grow, is to learn, okay? It's the complete missions. I like to say missions, but you know, it's to grow. So some of you, I'm very happy to hear, this is a sign you are experiencing spiritual growth, okay? For some of you, it's an encouragement to have honest and open communication. Yeah? Especially, I feel, for the people who are in the 3 of Swords entanglement, love triangle situation. What we need is honesty and communication. Okay? And probably you need, very much so, some courage and some bravery. But apart from that situation, we do need courage and we do need bravery, okay? We have some things going on in the world, okay? And we really need to trust that there are courageous people, there are brave people out there who tell the truth. There are people out there who are willing to tell the truth for the highest good, yeah? And tell your own truth. Be courageous and be brave about saying your own truth. Yeah, it might just help someone. So we got 4 more. So we have trust the universe. Okay. Now, some of you may be kind of new to tarot readings and new to like spiritual ideas, spiritual practices. You may just find like the whole thing about the universe a bit corny, you know. But there may be something that happens that you're like, whoa, what some people are saying about this whole kind of field is so right. And sometimes we get a bit freaked out by it, but it's saying what you feel is true in your heart. Trust it. Yeah. And what you're learning, a lot of what you learn about, to be fair, is about trusting the universe, trusting that you are guided, trusting that you're supported, trusting that regardless of your current situation and how it looks, trusting that there's a way forward, trusting that it doesn't matter what the situation is, you can make it how you want to make it. It's about trusting the unknown, okay? Trusting, well, let's say the universe has a lot we still don't know. So you can see like the universe as the unknown and is trusting this, okay? You will be fine. Ask and receive. So this again may be a very strange, this may be a very strange concept for someone who is, you know, new to everything. But it's saying if you have a problem and you are just stuck on the answer, ask and you will receive. Yeah, if you're religious, you're already kind of in tune with prayers and asking for help, right? Now for those on the spiritual journey, it's the same thing, okay? Asking your guides, asking your angels that are around you supporting you, okay? Asking your ancestors for extra support. Okay, we need some extra support. All right, so ask and you will receive. It could be a song that plays. You just walked into the shop and the song plays and you're like, oh my gosh, that's it. Yeah, that's what I have to do. Right? The signs come in all shapes and forms. So ask and you will receive. If you don't ask, you don't get, right? So inner child healing, I think this is everything. I mean, we should always be trying to nurture and love our inner child. Okay, so how you would treat a child, how you would love and support a little baby, do it to yourself as well. I always say every day is self-care day, okay? Even if it's as small as, I want to say cleaning your room again, but even if it's as small as, okay, I'm working from home all day, I'm at home all day, but you know what? I'm going to make sure I do my hair every day. Because why? Because it makes me feel good, you know? Anything, even if it's feeding yourself, you know, sometimes if you're not feeling great, you might not want to eat and you just feel like, who cares, do you know what I mean? But no, you have to treat yourself like you would treat another, like you would treat a little baby, okay? You are precious, so always, every day is a self-care day, yeah? And we have forgiveness and understanding. Okay, so forgiveness is really important to have, okay? Because when we don't forgive, it's not standing up now. Okay. When we don't forgive, we are storing the pain inside, yeah? And when we don't forgive, we have a tendency to relive the trauma, tendency to keep thinking about that situation. And when we forgive and we say, you know what, I forgive you, I forgive myself, what we're doing is we're releasing that, okay? We're letting it go. Now, everyone knows there's a difference between forgive and forget, but the first step is always forgive, okay? Release yourself. I felt release. Release yourself of the burden, yeah? And, you know, understanding does tie into forgiveness. A way to forgive is to try and understand. It's not about making excuses for people. It's not about, you know, this is, you know, when we say we understand, it's not saying, it's not giving someone a reason why they did something and saying, yeah, that's why they did it, so it's fine. But it's just saying, you know, trying to understand what the purpose of that is, trying to understand why. And even if you don't in that moment in time, it's working on forgiving yourself, it's working on forgiving others, because it only benefits you, yeah? You release the burden. You don't even physically need to go to that person and say, I forgive you, but forgive it in your heart so you can let it go from your heart, okay? So, and last but not least, the singletons, okay? It's my favorite. I always have to have a relationship. I'm sorry, it's too juicy. Right, messages for the singletons out there. Let's see if we can get some messages for the singletons out there.
I love singletons. You have lots of stories for us.
Splitting the deck into 4, and I will choose 2. And I want some messages for the relationship lovelies. Messages for the relationship lovelies. If they don't fly out, I'll be splitting the deck. Messages for the lovelies. Gosh, that's the deck it wants to be split. I'm not actually looking at the messages yet because I don't want to give it away. So I'll split it into 3 and pick 2. Cool beans. Thank you. So, guys, the same cards. Right. I feel like singletons, we keep going, not in a circle, but for some of you singletons, you're in a loop, yeah? And, right, so you had one relationship, and you know what you learned from that, okay? Now the next relationship, you are finding yourself in sort of similar situations, similar characteristics. There's a feeling like, I've done this before, I've felt this before, okay? And I think it's about really taking your singleton time, love it, to analyze your past relationships, to analyze what you like, what you don't like, analyze where things started to go wrong, analyze where the red flags were, and really reflect on it, okay? Because once we reflect, we gain awareness. And once we gain awareness, we're able to see things more clearly, right? So if you are finding yourself in a loop, you have to be able to reflect, yeah? And find the clues, because you will always be left with clues, right? So if you really don't want a repeat of your last relationship, you have to be doing reflection, okay? And the reason I say this is because enjoy your uniqueness, okay? And we have, if they once loved you, they still do, okay? So I've had these cards before, so you know what the message is. You know what the message is, you know what to do, okay? The message is self-reflection, okay? Reflect on what you know, and it will help you to make a better decision for your next lovely relationship. So we have our relationship peoples, okay? So we have just spoken about forgiveness and understanding, okay? For some of you in relationships at the moment, we really have to practice the art of forgiving, okay? It says, of course, anger can always be justified, but then so can forgiveness. Just depends on how much more you want from the adventure, okay? How much more do you want from your adventure with your loved one? If this is someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, guess what? We have to learn how to forgive. Because, you know, sometimes people do things, you know, they may be having an off day and they didn't think of you and they did something annoying. Sometimes it's like, especially in I don't want to say in lockdown, don't want to talk about that. But especially, you know, there's not so much things we can do outdoors, let's say. So, you know, we're around each other a lot, and it's about forgiving, okay? And really embracing the act of forgiveness and understanding. Because, you know, that helps you to live your adventure with your loved one, and you want more of that, right? So let's forgive each other. And it says here, they chose you, okay? So you might not readily believe this, it might even spook you a bit, but there are those who chose this very lifetime in large part, knowing you'd be there. Now that's what I call a reputation. So, this is a reminder for you guys in relationships. How amazing. You are in a relationship because that person, you are in a relationship because that person chose you, okay? And only you. So we have to remind ourselves and say, you know what? That person chose me, and they choose me every day, and they will choose me every day. So let that fill you up with joy, yeah? Even sometimes when we are annoyed and we have to keep remembering we have to forgive, also remember they chose you. So remember that there's a love between you, yeah? And let that make you feel happy, even on hard days. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope some of you had really lovely messages and messages that you needed to hear at this moment in time. So like, share and subscribe so I can keep going for you guys. Oh, I nearly forgot. Sending you love.